Welcome to today's class. We're going to do floor today. It could be a warm-up, it could be post standing poses, it could be used on its own. We're going to start in child's pose. I'm going to actually take my glasses off. So to get to child's pose, go ahead and either go right into child's pose or find your hands and knees and then let your hips sit towards your heels and your belly move towards your thighs and your forehead towards the floor. Make sure that you're comfortable. You can adjust the legs, move them farther apart. You can have the hands towards the front of the mat. You could have the hands alongside the body and just try to relax. And so here in child's pose, we're just letting go of everything beyond the room. Keep staying in child's pose. We're letting go of everything beyond our mat. We're allowing our body to relax and soften. If you're not comfortable in child's pose, you're welcome to sit up. And then we're just going to keep staying here for a moment, taking a moment to create that space between every day and your yoga. And then we're going to come up into a seat. So we're going to sit up tall and shift your hips to one side or the other. And if you're already in your seat, great. You can sit cross-legged. You could sit with your legs out front. They can be straight, they can be out wide. What is most important is that you're comfortable. Hands are anywhere you like. And just relax the shoulders. See if you can sit a little taller. Pressing the shoulders down away from the ears. And we're going to let the right ear droop over to the right shoulder. We're going to sit up tall. We're going to let the left ear droop over to the left shoulder. We're going to sit up tall. We're going to look to the right. And bring your gaze to the front. And look to the left. And bring your gaze to the front. Good. We're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down, maybe one at a time, then the other one, then going the other way. And we are going to come to hands and knees. So in hands and knees, let's make sure that we're comfortable. If it feels uncomfortable for your hands to be on the mat flat, you can press your knuckles into the floor. You could hold the outside edges of your mat. You could put your hands on some blocks. And our same thing for our knees. Now, instead of putting your knees on blocks, if your knees are not comfortable, you can find a rolled up towel and place it under your knees. And we are going to do some cat-cows. So we'll start with cat by rounding the spine up into the sky, tucking the chin. I invite you to stay and really feel into the back body. Where does your body need some stretch? Where are you feeling tension? And then when you're ready, we're going to move into cow by lowering the belly, lifting the chin away from the chest, looking forward, pressing the shoulders away from the ears. And again, I invite you to find where you need the stretch, where you might be feeling some tension. And then if you'd like, if you're ready, you can go back and forth in between the two. As we draw the belly in, we press the hands into the floor and we move into cat. We exhale. As we move into cow and we're lifting the chin away from the chest, we inhale, breathing in. And move with your breath, your body's rhythm. Think of this as a warm up for the back, a way to connect body and breath. And then when you're ready to come to neutral, find that neutral spine by pulling the belly in. Think about the top of the head facing the front of the room, shoulders away from the ears, belly pulled in. Then I'm going to invite you to think about knitting your rib cage together. So drawing the belly in and pulling everything in towards center, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor, pressing the hands into the floor, and feeling engagement in the core. So we're going to come into a modified plank. So what we're going to do is keep our feet and our knees right where they are. We're going to walk our hands forward so that our body ends up kind of in a straight line from knees to top of the head. Soften the elbows, so a little tiny bend in the elbows. Engage that core some more, just like when you're pressing the floor away from, pressing your body away from the floor in your quadruped position. And then look down. Press the shoulders away from the ears and notice engagement in the core. Then we're going to exhale and soften back into child's pose, hips to heels, belly to thighs. Hands can be forward or hands can be alongside the body. And in child's pose, we're meant to relax, be comfortable. If child's pose is not comfortable, you can instead come back to quadruped and do a cat and a cow. So if you're in child's pose, we are going to come back forward, and that might mean moving your hands a bit forward, coming back into that modified plank. And of course, you can lift your knees up off the floor and come into full plank. It's up to you. And then we're going to exhale, soften back into child's pose, relax for a moment. And one more time, inhale and coming back into modified or full plank, up to you. And we're going to lower ourselves down. So that could mean just drawing the elbows, bending the elbows and bringing them down, and then letting the belly come down. Or if you're really wanting a little bit more, you can bend the elbows and slowly lower yourself down in between the arms, up to you. So we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So we're going to turn the palms to face the floor. We're going to bend the arms. We're going to put the elbows just directly underneath our shoulders. We're going to look down at our forearms. We want them to be parallel, so not in a V shape, not hands touching, parallel to each other. Our belly is down. Think about shining your heart forward, lengthening the space from shoulder tip to shoulder tip across the front of the body. Tops of the feet are resting on the floor. And then if you're feeling comfortable here, you could lift the chin away from the chest, look forward, and really press the elbows into the floor and drawing the elbows towards the hips. If this is too much for you, you can go ahead and look down at the floor, or you can also just lay down on your belly with your forehead on your arms. Make sure that you're comfortable here. And then we are all going to meet on the belly with the forehead on the arms. Of course, you could have the forehead on a block. And we're going to lift our feet up, and we're going to let the feet sway side to side, just trying to release the back. Then we're going to put our feet back on the floor, and we're going to do some swimmers. So what we're going to do is reach the arms forward. We're going to turn the thumbs to face the sky. Your elbows can be slightly bent. Your arms can be out in kind of a V shape. We want to be able to lift the arms up comfortably. We're going to turn the forehead. We're going to press it down into the mat. And we're going to leave the head on the floor. And we're going to be doing opposite arm, opposite leg. So think about when you lift your leg up. It's rather than bending the knee and lifting it high into the sky, we're reaching the toes towards the back of the room, almost keeping the leg as straight as possible, and just reaching like you're lifting up and reaching towards the back of the space. As you do that, we're going to lift the opposite arm and reach it towards the front of the space. So go ahead and put your forehead on the floor. We're going to do right arm, left leg. So inhale, right arm, left leg, keeping the forehead down, reaching the fingertips and toes away from each other. Then exhale and release those to the floor. And then the other side, so right leg, left arm reaches up off the mat and then away from each other. And then exhale down, and we'll do two more on each side. So right arm, left leg, inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, opposite side. Exhale, lower. Last one, each side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and make a pillow with your hands. If you turned your head to the left the first time, turn your head to the right, or you can keep yourself facing the mat. Next thing we're going to do is move into child's pose, hands alongside the body. Lift yourself up through hands and knees, and either walk yourself towards the center of the mat or shift your weight towards the back, finding your child's pose. You could stack some blocks underneath your chest or put it underneath your forehead. Arms are going to be wherever you like. Also, a block can come between hips and heels. So from our child's pose, we're gonna sit up tall, walk the hands in towards the knees, shift your hips right or left, whichever feels good. And we're gonna put the legs out in front. We're gonna roll the shoulders up, back, and down. We're gonna put our right hand next to our right hip. We're gonna lift the left hand high. We're gonna walk the right hand out a little bit and just stretch over to the side. And then we'll switch, bringing the left hand down, the right hand up, and just stretch over to the side. And then sitting up tall, we're gonna bring the shoulders down. We're gonna put the hands right alongside the hips. We're gonna flex the feet. We're gonna straighten the legs. And we're gonna try to be as tall and straight in the spine and as tall and straight in the legs. Staff pose. Imagine if you could, that you could press your hands into the floor and lift your bottom off the floor. Good, and then soften there. You can give your knees a wiggle. We're gonna do a forward fold. So in the forward fold, if you feel if you're feeling like you're sitting here and you can't lean forward, you're gonna find yourself a cushion, you're gonna roll up another mat, you're gonna put a block, something underneath you so that you can lift your hips a little higher. And then we're gonna sit tall and feel how the back feels here. Soften the knees just a little bit. And rather than trying to reach for your toes, elongate the spine and hinge just a little bit forward. And notice where you start to feel a stretch here or both. And then stay there. Notice your knees, maybe give them a tiny bend. Think about length from head to hips, from hips to heels. Think about having the toes facing the sky, the knees facing the sky. And just allow yourself to soften without rounding. So body stays tall. It's like you're taking yourself and folding yourself into in a half. So the hands are not gripping, you're not adding tension. And you can also do this, of course, without the cushion underneath you. All right, when you're ready, we'll come back to a nice tall seat. And we're gonna put one leg on the inside of the other. So maybe you take your left leg and put it on the inside of your right leg. You keep your right knee and your right toes facing the sky. Again, we're gonna bring the hands on either side. You can do this sitting on a cushion if you're feeling like you're leaning back. Put the cushion underneath you or the towel or the rolled up blanket. And the same thing. So rather than rounding and bringing the nose towards the knee, we're lengthening the spine. Think about taking a string that's attached to the top of the head and they're just pulling it forward and towards, like beyond your foot. And again, we're wanting to keep this leg that's straight out in front of us, knee and toe facing the sky. This other leg, it could need a little help. So you could put a block underneath it to help it feel a little bit more comfortable if it's feeling really tight in the hip. And so we've turned our body towards the straight leg and we're folding over it. And try not to pull or add tension in the shoulders. And then to come out, we just walk the hands in and we switch sides. So the left leg comes out, the right leg comes in. We adjust so that we have that foot as close into the groin as you can feel comfortable with. And then we're turning towards the straight leg, hands on either side, sitting tall first. And then just think about hinging at the hips. If you're feeling it a lot in the leg, in the back of the leg, you can soften the knee, making sure that the knee and toes are facing the sky. When you're ready to come out, we'll walk the hands in and sit up tall. And this time we're gonna bring both legs in. So our right leg is in, our left leg is in, and we're in this butterfly, our cobbler's pose, whatever you wanna call it. You can take your hands to your ankles, you can take your hands to your feet. You can scooch the feet farther away and have the hands on either side of you. So wherever it is that you are, maybe you pull the heels in close, but try to keep the back tall. I find it a little bit easier to pull the hands onto the ankles to sit tall. And then just as we did earlier, we're just leaning forward a little bit. So not trying to find too much rounding. The back stays long. And that sometimes means that you don't come very far. If you wanted to, you could press the elbows into the legs, but try not to add extra tension. And sitting tall again, we're gonna help the knees come together, and we're gonna put our right leg out. Our left knee, we're gonna scooch it in towards the chest, and just take your hands onto the shin and sit super tall, like you're hugging that knee in as close as you can to your body. Then we're gonna lift the foot up and bring it to the outside of the straight leg. And again, you can do this on a cushion, a rolled up blanket. So we have our left knee bent. We're gonna take our right hand, and we're gonna hug the knee in. And then we're gonna turn towards the bent leg, turning your heart towards the left. Put your left hand either on the floor beside you or behind you. And we're coming into a twist. So if you happen to be rocking over off the sit bones, the bony protuberances at the bottom of your bottom, try to keep them both grounded. And so if that means that you untwist a little bit or you move that foot a little bit away from the hip, that's okay. And then go where it feels comfortable for you. When you're ready to come out, we'll unwind the legs. We can swing our feet side to side. We can roll whatever feels good for in between. And we're switching sides. So now it's our right foot that we're drawing super close in. Stay here for a moment, pulling the knee in towards the chest, sitting super tall. Then lift the foot up and put it on the outside of the leg. We want to try to have that foot flat on the floor, not lifting the butt cheek off the floor like I said earlier. Then we're going to take the opposite arm and hug that knee in, and our right hand is going to come beside or behind us, and we're twisting towards the right. And sometimes we can go a little farther on one side or the other. We can look wherever it is that feels good for our neck. And just enjoy the feeling of the twist in the back while breathing. And when you're ready to come out, we'll come out and we're going to bend both knees and we're going to lay ourselves down on our backs. So lower the elbows, lower yourself slowly down onto your back. Good. And we're going to draw the feet closer in towards the hips. We're going to come into bridge. We're going to look up at the ceiling. We're going to bend the elbows and we're going to have your thumbs facing your face, your palms facing each other, grounding your feet into the floor. Before we go anywhere else, we're going to rock the lower back onto the floor, pull the belly button in, and then we're going to roll the lower back off the floor, arching your back. And we'll do that a couple times. It's kind of like a mini cat-cow. And then move back into the lower back on the floor, elbows bent. Press into the back of the arms so that you're almost lifting your heart. It's like you're squeezing your shoulder blades towards each other on your back right here. Ground the feet into the floor and lift the hips up high into the sky. And we found bridge. So notice here if your knees are falling open, and if so, draw them back into center. I like to notice if the base of my big toe and the base of my pinky toe, so the front of my foot, is grounded into the floor. And then think about tailbone tucking under and pointing towards the back of the knees. And then open your heart more by pressing more into the backs of the shoulders and backs of the arms. The head is pretty light. And we're going to come down from here by softening the space between the shoulders first and letting the back slowly release down. Once the tailbone is on the floor, we're going to tuck our knees in. We're going to rock side to side or be still. I like rocking side to side. And we're going to do a hip opener here, our figure 4. So we're going to keep our right leg in. We're going to put the left leg down. And we're going to put the right ankle on the left thigh. We're going to put our right hand on our inner right thigh. And our other foot is staying on the floor. If this feels like it's uncomfortable in the knee, make sure this foot is flexed a lot so that the shin is activated. And then maybe don't press so much with the hand. If you're feeling pretty comfortable here, you're welcome to lift that bottom foot off the floor, drawing the knee in straight in towards the chest. And then if you want to, you can reach your arms in between the legs and hold onto the back of the thigh of the left leg. And you can always find a little additional movement here. Sometimes the movement can help you feel those tiny little parts of your hips that maybe need a little extra attention or stretch. But wherever it is that you are is perfect. And when you're ready to come out, we'll just take the right foot to the floor. We can walk our feet away from each other and sway the knees one at a time in towards center. And then we'll do the other side when you're ready. So we'll heel toe the feet towards each other. We'll draw the left knee in towards the chest. We'll reach for the left ankle, flexing the left foot, taking the left hand and pressing on the inside of the left leg. You can stay here. We can draw the right foot off the floor. We can reach behind the right leg. We can hold anywhere that feels good for us. And we can find a little movement if we like, but we can always remain still. When you're ready to release, we'll bring both feet to the floor. And either you can take your knees and rest them against each other, walk the feet out, or you can scoot your feet far apart for Shavasana. Or if you're not comfortable lying down, you can also sit up. And we are ready to rest. So wherever it is that you are, give yourself some time to close your eyes. And let's take some big, deep breaths. Breathe in and think about breathing in towards the tips of the toes and the top of the head. Breathe out, and let's think about taking a little extra time to breathe out, longer than the inhale. And do that 2 more times on your own. Think about every time you breathe out, you're letting go of a little bit more tension. And if you have time, you're welcome to stay here in Shavasana, resting. If you're ready to come out, we'll open our eyes and maybe give ourselves a stretch. Roll over to whichever side is our favorite. Oscar says it's time to be done. I don't know if you can hear my dog. And then I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Hope to see you next time.